A new study from the Centers for Disease Control says that pregnant women infected with the Zika virus during their first trimester face as high as a 13% chance that the fetus will develop a severe brain defect. As we prepare for being outdoors this summer, what are the best ways to protect yourself and your family? I want to bring in Dr. Jen Caudle. Dr. Caudle, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So we know that there are cases of Zika in the U.S.
Yes, we do.
And is that largely because those people have traveled to places like Brazil, Puerto Rico, where Zika is much more
Right, that's
prevalent?
an important point, because the cases that we have right now in the United States are travel-associated cases. These are people that have gone to other places, possibly acquired the virus, and then come back here in the States. Right now, we don't have any locally acquired transmission.
Having said that, if someone does have Zika, there's a threat there. So what do we do? Are there actual mosquito sprays? I know you brought some mosquito sprays.
I did.
Are there actually mosquito sprays that can protect you?
Absolutely.
Really?
And as we come into the summer months, this is what we're getting concerned about. The biggest concern is that we will start seeing Zika being transmitted locally here in the United States.
Right.
And of course, as you mentioned, the concern, of course, is pregnant women and the cause for birth defects and things like that. But yes, there are bug sprays, and this is super important.
And it's even just for mosquitoes, by the way.
Well, it is, because these are bug sprays that protect against most mosquitoes. Remember, Zika is not the only virus that these bug sprays will protect against. Also things like dengue and chikungunya. We've heard about these viruses in the past as well.
Right.
So really staying protected is really what's going to be important this summer.
So what do you have? How do we look to protect ourselves?
So I have a couple of products here. I think what's really most important before I go into these is you want an EPA, that's an Environmental Protection Agency approved ingredient that will fight mosquitoes that transmit Zika. Okay?
Right.
There are a couple different ingredients. DEET rather is one of the active ingredients that's important. Picaridin, IR3535, oil of lemon eucalyptus.
These are the things you should be looking for in the spray that you buy.
In the bug spray, right. So the brand doesn't matter so much to me. I want you to look at these active ingredients. This is what you're going to look for when you go to the drugstore, when you go to the CVS, the Duane Reade, etc.
All right, so do these have them?
Yes, these are a couple of products.
Let me see that.
This is my own. Actually, I was in Puerto Rico a couple months ago.
Off Deep Woods.
It's got DEET in it. That's really important. That's the active ingredient that we mentioned on the full screen. That was the first item. This one right here is also another off product, but this one has picaridin. This is one of the other active ingredients that we just talked about.
Okay.
So the idea, it's not necessarily the brand again, it's the active ingredient, DEET, picaridin, oil of lemon eucalyptus, etc.
Why is it the oil of lemon eucalyptus? That doesn't sound like something as serious as picaridin.
Right.
But what's the difference?
So interestingly enough, the oil of lemon eucalyptus and the IR3535, which sounds kind of like a robotic type of a name, those are actually more naturally occurring
that's what I was getting at.
Yes.
Is the oil of lemon more natural for those people who don't necessarily want to put anything too chemical?
Right. It is more natural, which is kind of cool, but it's EPA approved to fight against the mosquitoes that can transmit Zika. The DEET and the picaridin are more man-made substances. So you really have a range to choose from. That's what you want to look for, though, is these active ingredients when you're going to the drugstore.
So we should be putting this on in the beginning of the day and then just leaving it like that? I mean, or
there
reapply?
There are a couple things to keep in mind. First of all, I think this is a summer to be using bug sprays. This is what we're concerned about.
I think
is
so
local
too.
Transmission of Zika. Right. We're trying to get ahead of this. Remember, we have a condition here that we can hopefully stop the spread of. So bug spray is super important. First thing you want to remember is the sunscreen is important too, but you got to put that sunscreen on first, the bug spray on afterwards, because you want the bugs to land on the bug spray, not the sunscreen. You also,
good point,
keep in mind. And then reapply as directed. Remember, these are often okay for pregnant women and breastfeeding women, and then for children, you just got to look at the label, because there's certain specifications with children. So really, if you follow the directions, people should be perfectly fine.
Is there a bigger incidence of mosquitoes and related incidents now in the U.S. as a result of what's going on?
I think that's what we're concerned may happen. What we are concerned may happen, because remember, in the U.S., we have the mosquito that can transmit Zika. We have that mosquito on our soil. The concern is that these mosquitoes will start transmitting it by themselves on U.S. soil. So that's really what the concern is. We need funding to fight this. We need to use bug spray. We need to be smart about where we travel.
Dr. Caudle, thank you so much for the tips.
Thanks
we appreciate it. Jen Caudle joining us there. Great advice from you. We appreciate it.